What's up, everyone? Today we have a part 3 of the Cup Cadet. We have a refreshment of the deck. Couple things on the agenda. First, we're going to take off the covers. They're already kind of broken. Then, can take off the spindles. Probably the bearings. Well, not the bearings. The pulleys. There we go. And yeah, that's gonna make it a little lighter, a little easier to work with. But everything is bent. I mean, this is bent. There's not a single straight wheel on it, so that's going to be needing to be done. So I think I'm going to do that. In addition to that one being bent, there's also a hole that's going to need to be welded shut, and potentially that wheel over there, same problem, needs to be welded back on. Don't know about that yet. Might have to do a little bit more depending on what I find. And then after it's welded, have to do a little yellow touch-up painting. I don't really mind doing yellow touch-up painting here because you don't really see it, so it's not too obvious. If it's on the side, that's a little much. There's also these dents right there. There's also another one over here. Don't know about that. I forget how much it is. I'll put it in a link, or I'll put it on the screen. But this refreshment kit comes with a new belt. This one. Yeah, no. Spindles, blades, pulleys. I think that's it. It's a pretty decent kit. I think it was like $100 and something. I don't know. But it's pretty much everything that we need. So I think what I want to do is I want to take the covers off, flip it over, take the spindles off, take the blades off, and then we will not even bother trying to rebuild them because they're just annoying. From the looks of it, however, we are going to have to take, after we take this cover off, we're going to have to take the top pulley off of, well, no, we don't. These go on top. Okay, I was worried I'm going to have to take it off. That's even easier. So it's going to be hard to put it back on, but it's going to be easy to take it off. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take that off and let's get started. Got this taken off. But they very well might be seized on there. No, it's not. That's good. This one, however, might need a little persuasion. Considering I knew ones, this is the type of persuasion I'll be doing. Just without shaking you. This is why I got the kit, because it came with these, and this is just nasty. So the bearing's bad. In comparison, that one actually spins. It's amazing when you actually have a good bearing inside, you know? So this one isn't that bad. However, the pulley on the other side is dancing like a hula dancer, so it's bent. This one, however, is completely seized. It will not move. So, I mean, I was going to have to get a variety of parts separately, and the kit was just easier, so I got the kit. But I think I might have to reuse these nuts, but I don't know. I'll double check that. But either way, also came with blades. Those are usually like $40 by themselves, sometimes more, maybe a little less. But so I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. It's 15/16 for both of them. Then we'll go ahead and take this. The spindle will just completely fall out, and then we will get to bending everything back to where it should be and cleaning and welding. This one's being especially annoying. Have to break out the air impact. Let's see. Or pneumatic. I've soaked in penetrating oil. It's always one. Naturally, this is the one that was having a hard time. So we're gonna do this for like a long time. It's been about 3 or 4 minutes of heating it, and the blade's even hot. I've heard like a big pop. Let's see what happens. Penetrating oil and heat. If that wasn't going to work, I was going to look and see if I had to get a different nut and just take off the pulley on top, but that's probably frozen anyway. Okay, well, this goes into recycling. And we take that off. It's also probably hot. Just double check the blades are the same length as the ones I got, and we should be good. But if you ever have a problem, penetrating oil, heat. Yeah, it's hot. It always works. So, oddly enough, only this came out without that being the fate. Heat, impact, everything broken. This one, however, only one broke, and this one stayed in. It's just weird. That one, the nut was on there really tough and really hard to get off. This one, the nut just came right off, but every single bolt was firmly in place. So right now, I'm going to take this opportunity, get a wire wheel, clean this up. I don't know if I want to weld it on the inside or outside. Probably outside, because then I could paint it. It's probably cleaner. Of course, it might be easier outside if I just bend it right now and just weld it on the inside. I don't know. I have to take a quick look. I think I might just do that. I might just weld it on the inside. Then I would be worried that it's gonna grow and maybe hit the blade. Now I'll weld it on the outside. But right now I'm gonna take some time, bend all of this, everything together, and then we'll come back and we'll get some stuff cleaned up and start welded. Bending these wheel tabs has not been an easy process. I got 2 of them done. I also got that bracket pretty much as far as it's gonna go. But this one and probably that one is very stout. I may end up having to cut it off and just welding it back on straight. Don't know yet, but I'm gonna try a couple things, because right now hammering it on is not necessarily working too well, oddly enough. Do you want to know the only good thing about wintertime is I don't have to get a jacket to start welding. I already have one. So I cleaned it up as best I could. It's a little hard to reach because of the area, so there's that. But I wire wheeled it, put some acetone on there, dried it off, wire wheeled again, more acetone a couple times, try to get as much as I can. It's not perfect, but you know, it is what it is. Okay. I let that cool, actually probably not gonna let it cool very much. I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit, put a little paint on there to let it dry fast. So as you can tell, the color matching on this is just splendid, but you know, it is what it is. I'm going to probably be going to the store and purchasing other paint, but this might sit outside for a day or two, and I don't really want rust on there, so this will at least hopefully block some rust from getting on there. And look, we have a muffler, so that's nice. Don't want to jinx it, but we are almost pretty close to finishing. Now, we do have a few problems. This bracket is still bent. I might try to bend it back on the deck because that was right there. This hook is a little rough, but you know, what can you do? I believe it went on like this. It does seem kind of weird though, that's touches. That's how it came off. We might have a little work ahead of us on that one. Like, there has to be something here that I'm just not seeing that engages, but yet again, I have not looked underneath. I'm assured by the owner that the person told them that they did not touch a single thing on the bottom. That's why the deck is the way it is, because they couldn't use it. Okay, so let's go run these down. Spinny, spinny. Oh, of course. There is a nut on the bottom of that. Okay, well, I'm gonna secure that, and then we will probably put the spindles on. We kind of got lucky in the fact that we don't have to do anything with anything. We just have to bolt this in. Sometimes you have to take it all apart. It's just a giant pain. This one, don't worry, still will be, because we have to put this in through the bottom, but we have to take nothing apart. So these love to do nothing more than fall off when you pick up anything. So let's just pick this up, shove our arm in the bottom in a very exceptionally uncomfortable way. At least get a couple started. Now, these should be greased and prepared, but just in case, I have added a little grease. There's a Zerk fitting on the side, so I'm gonna get that. I want to make sure they're prepared beforehand. It didn't take a lot, so don't expect to do a lot. I'm gonna put one more in there, do the other side, and we'll tighten it down and put the blade on. And here we are. Everything's tightened down, all four sides. This cap was here. We don't need it anymore. So these are the blades. They come pretty sharp. I mean, they're not like, I'm not gonna shave with a sharp or anything, but it's good enough for grass. You really don't want a razor sharp edge. That can dull really fast and shorten the length or the life of your blade. But a lot of them will come up with this, like this one says grass side. Sometimes it will say this side up. So because we have it upside down, I'll put it in there. Now, if you notice, you have to buy the special type of blade for this type of machine. They all have different patterns in the center. Make sure you get the appropriate one. This is a 6-point star. Sometimes there's a 5-point. There's like a variety of different types. So when you take it off, easiest thing if you don't know what it is, when you go to your tractor store or online, just type it in, look at the center, make sure that's the right length. That's it. Now, I'm not too happy with the idea of having to reuse the old nuts on there, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, if you look in the center, you notice that they are not actually touching. I'll show you. Let me get closer. We'll see if we can't see it. Not touching. No clinging. No, nothing. That's important. Sometimes with these, if you get too long of a blade, that's exactly what happened. Now, sometimes they are keyed in a special way where the blade, one will be spinning one direction, the other one will be spinning a different angle. It'll never touch anyway, and they will touch if you do it like this. We do not have that problem on this deck, so I don't have to worry about that. They are barely short enough to not have a problem. Sometimes if you have a third one, they will be pretty far apart, and that third one will just be responsible for the center. I personally like that design better. Those are usually more expensive machines though. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down. There's probably a torque spec. I'm just going to use a big impact as tight as I can without breaking it, of course. Hey everyone, today I want to go over something that is simple but also can be hard at the same time about installing blades on a like a lawn tractor. Now, this is a brand new blade, so it's a little bit easier to kind of figure it out. Make sure there's a couple things you want to look forward. One, you do not want it to go on backwards. As you can tell, this has a key in it, so you want to, first thing you want to make sure is you have the right style of blade. But if you look at that, that's wrong. How do we know it's wrong? A couple things to look for. One, I've never, oh, okay, I should rephrase that. I've only seen one time, but I questioned that one. Seen a blade at the cutting edge, the angled part is facing down. It's almost always facing up, so a nice smooth flat end is facing towards the grass. Another thing to look at is this flare. Some of them have little cuts in them, some of them are just flared. Like this one is just flared. That always faces the deck. And to make it even easier, sometimes they make it completely foolproof. They put in there, if you can read that, they even stamped it in there, grass side. So that's a thing. So if you're finding that one side of your grass is really dull looking, really white tipped, a lot of long blades are sticking out of it, you know, there's just a very generically poor cut. This could be a good reason why. Maybe the blades are backwards, because if you did put it on backwards, just something like this, your cutting edge is now this instead of the sharp edge. Now, to actually put them on, sometimes there's a little spacer, sometimes there's nothing. In our case, we have nothing. If you do have a spacer, it should be on there when you take the blades off. Pay attention to how you remove them and go from there. So this is the part that can differ. Mine just has a nut that goes on like so, and then this one takes a 15/16 socket. There is a torque spec in your owner's manual. It will tell you exactly what that torque spec is. That torque spec is generally roughly between 40 and 55 foot-pounds in general. Some are lower, some are higher. I think I saw one that was as low as 35. I questioned that one. This is my torque spec. Quick, easy, stop turning. I didn't force it completely down. Well, it is completely down. I didn't overdo it to the point where it's going to snap. That's important. Snapping will ruin your day. And final check. Very nice. Not so nice. That wheel, problem wheel, that I was having a hard time beforehand is the deck is actually bent. You could kind of see it. Actually, I think this is bent too. So I'm going to take the persuader and do a little bit more persuading and make sure this spins right. This is the right size of blade. Other ones are exact same size, and just to double check, I looked it up, and this is the right size of blade according to the owner's manual. So unless they also have the wrong size listed, this is the right size. And the deck is done. So the blades spin freely. That's the important part, freely. No clanky, no noises, no nothing. So I'm happy with that. I'm not going to show me putting it on the actual machine because some are vastly different. In fact, a lot of them are different. Pretty much the only thing I have to do now is put the covers on, the little black covers on, and that's it. It's all done. But like I said, they're very different, so I'm not going to show that. So this is going to be the ending of the deck refreshment on a riding lawnmower. This is something that I don't think will be necessary 100% of the time, but if something's been sitting for a very long period of time, it's almost always going to be necessary. Russ has a way of ruining things like this, but, you know, it happens, so what can you do? Other than that, I think we are set and ready to go. There might be a part 4 because I tried to get the tractor moving and the transmission's giving me a little bit of a problem, so we might have a belt, I hope, problem, maybe fluid, I don't know. We're going to take a look at that, so expect a part 4. Yay. Okay, well, I'll catch you later. Have a good day. Hopefully this helped you out. If you have any questions on refreshing a deck or why you would need to do it or how I did something, you know, definitely feel free to ask a comment below or ask a question in the comments below, and I will do my best to give you the best answer I can. Okay, have a nice day, have a good night, and don't forget to subscribe.